Back in January, Braden was at school and had an accident on the playground, just slipped on the ice. They were running at recess and broke his, well, at that point we didn't know what had happened, but he had pain that kept occurring in his wrist, and so we kind of iced it, did a couple of things for a couple of days, and then we decided we needed to get in touch with someone professionally and called the hand center. Well, I have to say that from the reception gal to the nurses to dealing with the doctors, every one of them was more than kind. They certainly expressed a feeling of concern for not only for Braden but for us as parents, and not knowing what was going to be, how things were going to end up with his, with his wrist. So we felt very comfortable, and they certainly answered all questions and were quite accommodating.
Yeah, they pretty much told me that my wrist, it was just minor, but still, I needed to have something done with it.
I mean, I would say that they would certainly be doctors in a center that I would refer friends to, other kids to. Their attention to the details, to having us understand the situation, that's the most important. I think when you're dealing with any medical profession, is you want to have as much information brought to terms that you understand, so that it doesn't leave you with a lot of questions and what ifs, and decisions are made and you're comfortable with those decisions. And he's no worse for wear. He's back being a typical 10-year-old playing hockey and baseball and everything else. So I would say that we're very pleased with the results.
I was referred to the hand center after an accident I had at my home with a table saw in my own garage. So the hand center treated me for probably the worst accident I've done to my body to date. This, something like this happens. I mean, I think first of all that you inevitably expect the worst, and I came to the hand center right after an emergency room visit, and you're pretty down on yourself. Not only did you did something pretty stupid, but now you're faced with something you have to rehabilitate and hope for the best, and not only moral wise and trying to keep you upbeat and your care here, they gave you the best shot I think I absolutely could have had. I tried to set myself goals, and I've met every one with his help. So I can't say a bad word about my visit here. The hand center, surgery aside, they made you feel right at home. They didn't rush me through any meetings with the doctors. Any questions I had, he made sure that he had answered them completely. If I had anything else to ask, or if I needed to come back, if I forgot something I wanted to ask, they were more than accommodating on any outside of surgery, mentally helping you out through your injury.
I've had 3 surgeries at the hand center, 2 on my hands and 1 on my left shoulder, and then I've had in-office procedures that have to do with older age, just the wearing of joints out, but the surgeries were in response to accidents that I'd had. My initial impression of the hand center was extremely positive. The level of expertise that you get there, we in Western Mass have always had to go to Boston or New York to get that level of expertise, but they're incredibly professional. It's not hyperbole to say that they are the best of the best. They are board-certified surgeons, which you just don't get any better than that. The surgical center is just wonderful. I mean, to not have to go through the aggravation of checking in at the hospital and everything else. And once you're inside, you'd never know that you weren't in a surgical center. You're in, everybody's professional, they take care of you, but then you're out again, and it's not all the aggravation of getting checked in and checked back out and all the rest of it, so it's very nice. They are giving of their time, and they make sure that you understand everything that regarding or relating to the surgery or the problem that you have, and they make sure that you understand it, which a lot of time, because surgeons and doctors are pressed for time, that's the one thing that they're very reluctant to give you, is the time that it takes to actually understand, to make sure you've got all of your questions answered. An overriding impression would be one of how fortunate we are that we don't have to go to Boston or New York to get that level of care, and that before we had no alternatives. You had to go, and that's, I mean, that takes days out of your life, and I don't like big cities at the best of times, and to go to Boston or New York for a surgical procedure is just, that would be terrible. So I'm fortunate that we have that kind of expertise here and available to us.
Having the surgery center downstairs is even convenient, because if you have to go from one appointment to the next, there's no drive time. It's all located in one location. Very convenient. We felt that the staff was very, very courteous, very sincere, and actually listened to all our concerns and took us seriously when we were dealing with 2 broken wrists on an 8-year-old.
Well, I think they were friendly, and they did take it seriously, and they didn't like fool around with it, and they got to it right away.
If we ever had another unfortunate accident, we wouldn't hesitate to call them. We would feel we would get the same treatment, the fast service, and they would remember us by name, which is nice to know.
My problem was that this finger was locked in that position. Right. It's in the right hand. I'm just showing it, because I just had some therapy on this. Okay. Locked like that, I couldn't straighten it out. And the tendon was pulling it closer and closer and giving me a lot of pain. No, the doctor looked at it, I think it was like 3 weeks after the surgery. But immediately after the surgery, I think it was 2 days after, they started me on therapy. And I know 3 times a week in therapy. And it's been going on now for a month. And I'm feeling pretty good. I got my strength back in the finger. And I'm a happy man.
What I did is I had a gangling cyst on my wrist over in this area here. It actually is like a bump. And it's in a spot that it was constantly being hit as I was doing any kind of, activity type of thing. So the aggravation said, I finally said, okay, we need to do something about this. So we came to see Dr. Martin, and he removed it. Well, we treated it very well. I didn't quite know what to expect when we got here, and they brought me in. Dr. Martin took a look, see at it, answered any and all of my questions, and he gave me some different options of what I could do, what I should do. Well, actually, he didn't say what I should do. He basically gave me options, one way or the other, and it was up to me to make up my mind how I wanted to proceed. Once I had this diagnosed, and once I had the saw Dr. Martin consultation, we decided a course of action was to remove it. In my particular case, my decision. We set up surgery. Surgery was performed. Recovery time was just as he described. I'm glad I have it done, because it doesn't get in the way any longer. Because of having this surgery, I felt that was right move.
Because I had done surgery for me in the past, and it's worked very well. So there are 3 times I've been here already for 3 different surgeries. I've been very pleased with each one of them. I had soreness in the elbows, went to work and told them about it. They sent me to the work doctor, and work doctor sent me over here to the hand center, and they had done a surgery. And since then I've had 2 more surgeries done to me, and very good success through them. I recommend anybody needing this surgery come see the hand center. Yeah, people are very pleasant, helpful. The therapy after was great. People in there are great. If you follow what the doctor says, you came out feeling great. I would come back and say, okay, I'm healed, ready to go back to work. And I think it was a couple years later, the other one started, and I knew from the past one. So I came back and said, okay, I'm having a problem over here. Took an x-ray and stuff, seeing what the problem was, and let's do surgery, did it, and followed through everything, and it comes out great. Came out, I say 98 to 100% better after the surgeries. That's why I definitely gonna keep on working on the fourth one, and then that'll be it for the elbows.
The staff was very friendly, and I didn't have to wait too long, which is a good thing. And I saw the doctor and very quickly, and he took care of it. He was very gentle and kind because what I had done was painful, and he was very nice about the whole thing. By my explanation of my symptoms, he pretty much knew what was wrong with my hand. He did an x-ray and diagnosed what I had and explained the whole thing, what he wanted to do. And we did that day. And he gave me paperwork and things to read at home, and had to make a decision on having surgery or not. The doctor was very professional. He knows what he's doing. He knew right away what was wrong. And I was very happy with coming here, and I'm still coming, and I'm going to have the surgery, and I'm sure the outcome will be very good.
With the hand center, they did carpal tunnel surgery on both my hands, and the x-rays also showed that I had osteoarthritis in my thumb joints. They call them the CMC joints, and it's really painful. It almost feels like your fingers are being bent backwards. So it can be degenerative, but also brought on at an early age if there's an injury to your hand. So that's what happened. The osteoarthritis got into my CMC joints and started eating away the joint. And the hand center could recommend surgery to take care of that, where they go in and they remove a piece of your tendon and they scrape it all off. The osteoarthritis repositioned my thumb, and they balled up a piece of tendon and stuck it in between my joint, so I would no longer have any joint pain. Everything is all set up for you. You walk in, the girls are wonderful, absolutely wonderful, to make you feel very comfortable, and while they prep you for the surgery and everything, and just outstanding for medical care. I was very impressed and very relaxed about it. It was a very painful surgery, and they were right by my side from the time I went out until the time I came back. I woke up. They were very, very, very helpful. The convenience of being able to see your doctor in the same building. The next door is your rehabilitation. Your surgery is performed downstairs. It's very convenient. Everything's done in one building. I guess they just do, transfer through the computer, and they're waiting for you and know all about you, know what's going on, and very thorough in their job. It's very impressed.